Alpha's down out to the north by that white smoke. I think there's an enemy drone in the air, though. Ow! That shit hurted. Yeah, we're going to. Oh, God! Well, we gotta save Drewski. Oh, that's a grenade! Grenade, grenade, grenade! Stay down! Within grenade range!
Dude, I got lit up so bad. I did not redeploy. I bled out in like a minute and a half. It was so bad.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Hello again and welcome back to the Filthy Casuals. In today's video, I want to talk about the only large-scale PvP tactical shooter where every decision you make has weight. God, I love how intense this sounds even when you're down. It's incredible. Where your life means something not just to the team, but to you. Guys, right on me. Right on me. Right on blue team. Where traditional first-person shooter tactics are not only discouraged, but ineffective.
Hey, command, I'm gonna try and get 1-1 to buildings in there.
This is Bellum, the game where real-world military tactics shine and lone wolves go to die. Good? Oh, God.
Get inside. In the building.
Nice try. Today, I want to give you a little background on Bellum and discuss what makes it great, what needs more work. My gun just fucking quit.
Dark, you able to shoot?
Nope, not able to shoot, don't know why. And why I think Bellum is the next step in the milsim genre. Hey, behind us south, other side of the MSR, at least a fire team sized element. Drew, how does it feel to have like 3 dudes fingering inside you?
Dude, I'm working on the X, so if you come up, just try and get inside.
He just died! Just a quick side note, this video is not sponsored. These are my own thoughts and opinions on Bellum, but if you would like to support the channel, check out our Patreon, link is in the description. Let's start off with a little background on the studio and more importantly, the names backing this project. Astart Industries was founded by Ryan Yuan, aka 𝐌𝐀𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐄, a name synonymous with milsim gaming for the past 10 years. He began work on Bellum out of frustration with the lack of innovation in the tactical shooter and milsim genre, bringing with him many of his mod development team from Arma 3. They also have backing from investors like Operator Drewski, meaning that Bellum is being developed independently of other studios or publishers. Thus, Astart Industries can focus on making a realistic PvP shooter focusing on tactics and communication without outside meddling. A second side note here, I want to take a moment to emphasize that this dev team consists mostly of developers that are milsim enthusiasts, meaning this is very much a passion project for the studio. Now before you scoff and click on another video, just hear me out. The result of this blend is a game with Arma tactics and unit play in a free-flowing public PvP match. No AI, no pre-built scenarios, no specialized missions, just a PvP match with simple objectives. Kill enemy players and find the caches. More importantly, survive. If I were to compare this experience to anything else I have played, I would loosely compare it to Squad before tanks and helis. However, Bellum differs in its approach and you can feel it. So what sets Bellum apart? The short answer is realism. It's the ebb and flow of the firefight that goes on for 15 minutes. The ability to make meaningful maneuvers, properly fix enemies in a position, and suppress properly. In Bellum, your gameplay will revolve around real-world tactics and maneuvers, not because of LARP, but because they are the most effective at managing and winning the fight. Teams play as a large unit when playing as conventional forces like Ranger or Satyr, because an isolated squad will be destroyed. Players on Al-Zalam, the insurgent force, will decentralize and attempt to attack from unexpected areas, only to disappear as quickly as they appeared. This is what conventional and non-conventional forces do respectively. Irregular forces lean into their strengths, mobility, surprise, and numbers, whereas conventional forces lean into firepower, body armor, and communication. Communication during the match mimics what is necessary in the real world to move and fight effectively. From adjusting the fire of a machine gun to bounding your fire teams, these are the calls real leaders make in combat. Communicating to the platoon leader what is going on in your squad's sector is also vital.
We are going to establish here and try and hold what we got to the south.
Allowing the platoon leader to make informed decisions. This means that situation reports are not uncommon. Contacts up the hill! We are encircled. Contacts within 20 meters. Also, yes, there is a proper HQ element on the team as well as proper squad organization, meaning players cannot simply make their own locked 3-man squad. Players must choose from one of the predetermined squads and roles, thus forcing players to play with the unit and move as a squad or platoon. And that is just one thing unique to Bellum: unit-based gameplay. Now, when I use the term unit play, this refers to players moving with the squad that they are slotted with and being a rifle or a gun in that squad's fight, working as one unit. Whereas team play, to me, means focusing on maximizing the player's individual contribution to the team. Let's use squad as an example. I can grab a combat engineer role and play as a unit with my squad, going where they go and fighting with them as a rifleman first, and if I find a radio or happen upon a careless tank, I can then use my C4. However, this is not the proper way to play combat engineer and squad. If I were to maximize my team play, I would be hunting radios and mining roads more or less on my own. Bellum, on the other hand, very much incentivizes unit-based gameplay. Bellum implements a friendly fire reflection mechanic that reflects any friendly fire back onto the shooter. Simple enough. However, this is only active when players are close to their leadership, either fire team leader or squad leader, meaning that if you wander too far from your unit, you may get killed by friendlies. Couple this with the lack of optics and overall difficulty identifying friend or foe at distance, and you most likely are going to die. Oh, and I haven't mentioned this, but you as a player only have 3 lives, 4 if you play Al-Salam. So you may not want to waste one of your 3 lives by walking into the enemy platoon alone or getting fired on by friendlies. Also, this limited lives thing, well, it's the mechanic that really makes Bellum different. Having limited lives changes the psychology of the entire match. As a player, I don't want to lose all of my respawns and be stuck sitting at the deployment screen for 30 minutes. That would suck. Instead, I want to play the entire match, so I genuinely care about my life. And this small difference changes everything. In Bellum, every action and decision you as a player make has weight, because if you waste your lives, the match is over for you. Suddenly, that snap overhead now feels like it was right next to you. Getting engaged by a machine gun is actually fear-inducing, which in turn means suppressing the enemy is actually effective. Players will stop running through open areas, instead clinging to the trees and undergrowth for concealment. This highlights the need for purposeful map design, which so far Bellum delivers. Bellum only has one completed map, Highlands. It is an African setting with hills and a river confluence. There are small villages and farms with fields scattered throughout the map, as well as forests and groves of trees in some areas, giving the map a proper balance for testing purposes. What I really want to highlight is the sheer amount of undergrowth. This has been designed with infantry gameplay in mind, forcing the engagement to a closer distance and giving the infantry plenty of concealment. There is so much undergrowth that I have walked over enemy players more than once in the few matches that I have played. This abundance of concealment is critical to allowing infantry the ability to maneuver and close the distance. Also, you may have noticed that I have been saying concealment this whole time, and I mean that. Most objects in Bellum do not stop bullets, or at least not all bullets. Bellum has some really great ballistic simulation data that I'm not really going to get into because I will probably get it wrong. Regardless, Astarte Industries is making a serious effort to provide realistic bullet ballistics and penetration. Basically, this means that some weapons like the PKM can easily penetrate even brick walls. The same goes for RPG heat rounds, effectively turning buildings from cover into concealment. This changes how players move through the map, not only in the objective, but traveling to it as well. The objective in Bellum, or rather the area of operations, AO, is large, like 1.5 kilometers in diameter large, which is good because it allows players the ability to fight in the objective and not to the objective. Meaning that large flank that you want to make will still be inside the AO instead of outside a small objective where you need to have bodies to cap. If you have ever attempted this in squad and been told to play the objective by your team, you will find that in Bellum you will still be playing the objective when you make that flank, allowing players to have more of a contribution to the team even when they are maneuvering on an enemy's position. Currently, Bellum has two game modes, Attrition and Exploitation. Attrition is essentially a platoon-sized team deathmatch inside the AO. Once one team loses 60% of their overall lives, they are routed and the match ends. So if most of the team dies twice, game over. Exploitation is more of an added layer on top of Attrition rather than a separate game mode altogether. The Attrition rules still apply. If you lose 60% of your tickets, you lose, with the added complexity that irregular forces place caches around the AO. Each cache generates influence in the area of operations over time, and if influence reaches 100, irregulars win. Conventional forces, on the other hand, are tasked with moving into the AO and finding the caches. They can collect intel off of irregular forces' bodies to narrow the search area, and if they destroy 2 of the 3 caches, conventional forces win. Both game modes are really fun as they feel more like different mission sets rather than different game modes. Both have an attrition-based loss condition, meaning survival is paramount while searching for the caches and engaging the enemy. Now, of course, this game is not perfect and it still needs many things. Bellum is currently in closed beta, many things are still a work in progress, and there are many bugs still needing patched. Just look to this footage. You can see that my gun stops working for no reason, the mag is full, and I have no idea why it stopped.
I hope this is an out of ammo thing. My gun just fucking quit.
Dark, you able to shoot?
Nope, not able to shoot. Don't know why.
Thankfully, the devs have already implemented a fix for the second closed beta playtest. The game only has one completed map. There is a second in development, but we only have one AO that we can currently play on. The UI for the 𝐻𝐂𝐄𝐄, that's the phone that we use for our map, needs polishing, as well as a topographical map and grids. But these are things the devs are already working on. Hopefully optics will be introduced sometime soon, though Karma has stated they will remain limited to certain roles. A decision that I personally agree with, simply to maintain close engagements. Lastly, the game does suffer from a leadership vacuum. Many players, understandably, do not want to take on the responsibility of leading a squad or a fire team. However, players cannot slot into any other roles until the SL and FTL roles are filled in the squad they wish to join. This could be less of an issue if there were some form of party system where my friends and I could queue as a group and slot into a squad as one unit, but that is sadly not a reality yet. Regardless, I believe Bellum is the next step for the milsim genre. It delivers a uniquely realistic PvP experience where your life matters, your decisions have weight, and real tactics are applicable. A team's success is dependent on proper and clear communication, individual player discipline, and a unit-based mindset, leading players to work as a cohesive unit rather than a great individual. The firefights are immersive, intense, and last not a few seconds, but rather many minutes, allowing for proper fire and maneuver. This is the next step, and with openly passionate and dedicated developers, I believe Bellum will flourish. So should Bellum be your next purchase? Well, maybe. I know I've talked this game up over the past few minutes, but this game is not for everyone. If you buy Bellum and expect it to play like Squad or Arma Reforger Conflict, you will not enjoy this game. This is not a game of running off on your own with 2 of your buddies. You will die and you will piss off your team. You must stay with your squad. You only have 3 or 4 lives. Do not waste them by being alone. Focus on survival through numbers and be willing to play as a unit. If you are willing to do these things in search of a more realistic PvP experience, then Bellum is absolutely the game for you. If you'd like to learn more about Bellum, we have posted a link to their website down in the description. You will need to purchase the deluxe edition for $48 US in order to participate in the closed beta tests. Also, if you are looking to join a unit that focuses on realistic tactics and gameplay while maintaining a casual atmosphere, check out our Discord. That link is also in the description. But I want to know what you all think. Have you played Bellum? Is it on your wish list, or do you think that this game is a joke? Let me know down in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and do not forget to subscribe. See you next time.